Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, happy new year. Those of you in Australia, New Zealand, you guys are about 2 hours, 3 hours ahead of me, so you guys are already in 2019. Happy new year. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, of course, so I'm 6 hours ahead of the EU and 12 ahead of America. So those of you in the West, happy new year in advance. I'm recording this at about a couple of hours away from New Year. I initially wanted to do something special, like maybe a live stream going from 2018, 2019, like I did last year in World of Warcraft, but unfortunately I've got plans tonight, so I've got to put together this quick video. I just want to recap some 2018 MMORPG moments and look ahead at 2019 as well. So let's begin, shall we? 2018, pretty memorable year for me. Jumped into more games than I have in the past 2 years of me being here on YouTube, and I'm just gonna pick some of the highlights that, you know, it's worth recapping again. First of all, let's start with Wildstar shutting down. Of course, very unfortunate. I played Wildstar at launch, and I covered the closing as well. I was there when the game shut down, right up to the last moment, and that was pretty emotional in a way, because you never want to see an MMORPG shut down. Our genre is getting smaller, you know, every year it seems, in terms of the old school model of how to make an MMO. Big studio, large budget, almost fully finished and definitely playable at launch. That sort of MMO model is fast disappearing, and we're getting early access stuff, and we'll talk about that later on. So pretty sad about Wildstar. One could argue that it deserved a second chance maybe, because there's so many other games out there that are worse in terms of optimization and, you know, the fun factor and what it offered compared to Wildstar. But Wildstar had to go and had to bite the bullet, so that's unfortunate, and Wildstar will be missed. What other big moments in terms of games played? I think all the conventional MMORPGs that every one of us do play as our main drivers, and most of the stuff that you see a lot here on my channel, the WoWs, your Lord of the Rings Alliance, ESOs, Guild Wars 2s, all of them had decent years. And by that I mean most of them put out content you would expect them to put out based on their content schedules. None of them had any sort of big wow factor, unlike maybe 2017, where some standouts were ESO's Morrowind Chapter, Guild Wars 2's Path of Fire expansion. Both of them added stuff that drastically changed their game in a way. And this year, you know, for expansions, what, Battle for Azeroth, but you know, that didn't go the way Blizzard wanted it to go. So yeah, nothing really worthy of pointing out and giving that praise from a positive point of view. I guess the only positive is those games are still around, they're still making content, and, you know, people are playing it, which is great. For lows of the lows, gosh, we were talking about Wildstar, right? Let's talk about Bless for a second, huh? May 2018, I jumped into Bless, and I took a lot of shit for doing so. I was like the messenger that was getting shot for, you know, trying to cover a game from a new player perspective, which is pretty funny. I remember doing the 4-week stream, and, you know, I kept getting people coming onto my streams like, you're an asshole for covering Bless, or your channel's gonna die because you're covering Bless. I'm like, really? Is this what we've come to as a gaming community? Which is pretty funny. A lot of the hate and, you know, this aggressive feeling towards Bless Online is probably well deserved in the long run when you look back at what NeoWiz, the studio, has done in terms of giving games like Bless and the early access model the bad rep. I think, you know, they have to be called out for this. It's definitely a game that I said in my review I could not recommend, and I still don't. It's gone free to play now, so maybe that's the only positive factor. You don't have to pay for it. You can just go in and check it out and see what you like and what you don't. But unfortunately for me, Bless is always going to be there's no nice way to put this, but it's going to be that shit stain in 2018. I had a lot of issues with Bless, man. At the end of the day, I'm happy that I got that experience in terms of reviewing this game that, you know, has been hyped up so much, and everybody has just been telling me, if you're gonna cover Bless, you have to see it through. You don't quit halfway because of systems that you find terrible or you don't like. And that's exactly what I did. There's no way I'm gonna quit a game halfway if I'm, you know, reviewing it. So that review was like a Warzone review. It's not like one of the most popular videos for me, but I was proud of that review because I saw it through. And because of games like Blast Online and what they've done, other Korean MMORPGs are now looking at that model, and their path of going to Steam as an early access is some sort of a great example. which is incredible to me. I'm thinking of games like Echo of Soul, for example, which I recently bought and I'm going to be jumping into very soon. They have done the exact same thing. They were free-to-play game before coming to Steam, and when they got to Steam, they changed their model to buy-to-play, and they removed all the pay-to-win items from the store. Good lord, how many more of these games are we going to see? And the thing is, I'm sitting here talking about it without having, gotten through to the level cap and seen what Echo of Soul is all about. But the Blastoline example is actually eye-catching for a lot of games like these, because in that 3 or 4 month period when they launched early access, there is money to be made. People will spend the money. You may think an idea or a payment model or something in a game shop sounds stupid and not worth the money, but people buy these stuff. It's just, there's no way to justify the decision-making process of MMO players. If they want to spend money, they'll spend money. So for MMO moments, that's largely what's in my mind. If you guys want to bring some up, let me know in the comments. As for, pleasant surprises, games that I didn't expect to be covering or jumping into this year, for surprises, maybe MapleStory 2, because I made a snap decision. I had like a 3-week lull period between deciding what I was going to do next for the channel versus finishing up some work projects, and I'm like, okay, MapleStory 2 is going to be launching. I've heard a lot about this game. I'm just going to jump in and let's just do it. And my first day, I'm like in my head, yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this. This is definitely going to be one of those impartially but negative reviews that I'll do, because I just could not see how I'd walk away with anything good to say. From the outside, the graphics, you guys know me, you guys seen my videos. I don't usually play that sort of games and walk away feeling good about it. And secondly, I just didn't think the gameplay from a top-down perspective was going to offer any sort of fun factor for an MMORPG. And good lord, I was proven wrong. I was proven wrong. About one weekend, I was like, I'm going to see this one through, because the thing is, I came in with all these lists and criteria that I usually have when I review MMOs. I come in prepared with what I need to report on in all these little columns. And the first 3 weeks, or the first 2 weeks, I just forgot about all of that. I put that aside. I wasn't even recording anything in terms of what I wanted to say for the review. I was just playing it because parts of it was fun. And that, for me, was the most important thing that I take away from games like MapleStory 2. It's like, forget about all that whatever you came in hoping to find. We're just going to give you some fun, and you walk away coming off like somebody who had fun in our game. And that's exactly what happened. And, well, there's obvious issues with MapleStory 2 now, when you think about what's happening at endgame, the grind, and the community as well, the type of players that play MapleStory 2. I mean, I played in Hit Start when everybody around me were people who bought an access to the Hit Start, and then when you went free to play, of course, you have a lot more players coming in, right? But yeah, my point was, they don't make games like those anymore, where you come in expecting something, but it's the fun factor is what you go away with. A lot of MMOs, especially when they release like early access games or whatever, they make sure that it's in development. The fun factor may vary in patches, whereas in the past, when you buy a game and when you play it for the first time, everything that's supposed to be fun is already shipped day one. And that's what I felt while I was playing MapleStory 2. Whereas a lot of these MMOs, it takes a while before anything fun starts to come out. So that's that. Other than that, let's see. Yes, Warframe. Yeah, I know there's a lot of you in the channel that have been buggering me about Warframe for a long time. You need to play this game. You need to play this game. You need to check out the free-to-play model. And I played Warframe this year, both on the PC mid-year, and then towards the end of the year, I got it on my Nintendo Switch, which I've been firing up, whenever I have some downtime. I'm still working my way through some stuff with Warframe, and then I guarantee you will see a video about it. I'm not going to say anymore, but you will see a Warframe video. Whether it's going to be in an express review mode or something else, I can't say, but you will see a Warframe video. And the last one, it's a bit of a funny story. This is work-related. I got assigned to cover a first-person shooter game. It was either going to be Call of Duty, the latest one, Black Ops 4, I think, and Battlefield 5. So I was pissed off at this because this was when I was going to jump into the game that I'm currently reviewing, and I just felt so deflated. Like, shit, you're giving me an FPS game because I'm not familiar with FPS games. So if I'm going to review something, I have to focus and try and get good at it. And because I'm more of an MMORPG guy, I was really dreading I was disheartened by this assignment. So in the end, I picked Battlefield, first of all, because I've had experience with previous Battlefield games, and what made it better was I had a couple of real-life buddies that are Battlefield players, and they're like, hey, don't worry about it, we'll play with you, and, we'll get you through this. And I ended up getting hooked to Battlefield 5, which is just the funniest thing ever in the world, because it's just a game I would never play. Those of you in my Discord, if you've seen me play Battlefield 5 a lot over the last few weeks, that's the reason why I had to cover it for work. And I ended up getting so... I'm like a match away from hitting rank 50 in Battlefield 5. It's just ridiculous. So my FPS... my backlog of FPS games could increase in the future. I don't know. But I'm having fun with BF5. It just has a lot of bugs and... dumb shit about the game that I probably will not talk about on the channel unless you guys really want me to. So that's that for, gaming moments and things of that nature. As for the channel itself, 2019... first part of the year, you guys will see 2 new player reviews that I can guarantee you. I know it's been a while. It's been a while since the new player review, but I've been working on one. I'm going to be starting the next week, and all the other games in between. Of course, Guild Wars 2 has new content coming out on my birthday, January 7th or 8th. Yeah, I think Guild Wars 2 is 8, and so on and on. I'll be back in Final Fantasy 14. I just need to get my subscription renewed and make my way up, getting ready for the new Shadowbringers expansion, which is coming out summer 2019. So a lot more content and stuff like that to iron out. And I'll put out vlogs, I suppose, at the start of every month in 2019 to let you guys know what I'm working on. So let's move on to trends, shall we? MMORPG trends, some of the things that we noticed happening in 2018 that's definitely going to be carrying forward in 2019. First of all, early access. Early access, man, you either like it or you hate it, but whatever you feel about it, it's not going away. This has become the most popular new model to put out a game. And for MMORPGs, my personal opinion, this is the worst model to put out a game. But from a player perspective, but from a developer perspective, this could be the only way moving forward. Because like I said earlier on, it's becoming so rare for big studios to just dump a ton of money, $200-300 million bucks on a studio and say, you go make a game with a big IP and let's see what happens with it. No more. It's gone. Those days are over. It's crowdfunding and early access moving forward. So 2019, we'll definitely see more of the Kickstarter games that were completed and are in alpha. Games like Ashes of Creation, of course, and a couple of others that hopefully are closer to the beta so that I can actually make content, because a lot of these games are in alpha. So there's no point in me jumping in. I can't even talk about it anyway. My channel's too small to be given a designated content creator tag, so that means I can't talk about alpha, unlike a lot of the bigger channels, so I have to wait for a beta. So, whatever else comes out, I'll report that either in the news or with reviews. Another trend in 2018 we saw a lot of was nostalgia. Servers, fresh start progression servers, Age of Conan, Rift Prime, Lord of the Rings Legendary server. 2019, you've got the WoW Classic coming out. This thing, I don't know if it's going to continue. 2018, it just blew up so much. Like, the concept of nostalgia servers isn't exactly new. Games have been doing it for a while now, some even for free. ArcAge has a lot of these fresh start servers that promises no pay to win and then ends up bringing in all this stuff over anyway. So I can see why a lot of people hate the idea, because it's nothing like a rollback or a classic server. Some studios will give you the excuse that the coding or the systems just don't exist anymore, especially for games that are 10 years or older. So, hey, 2019, if we do see more of these, then it has to compete with World of Warcraft Classic, which is going to be a tough cookie to beat. Anything with WoW plastered on it, I think is going to be tough to beat, especially Classic, because there's so much aggravation toward Battle for Azeroth, right? And the current state of the live version of WoW, that people immediately go to the next best thing, which is either going to be WoW Classic or it's going to be private servers, unofficial private servers. So will we see more nostalgia servers? I would like to see some. I hope it continues, and I hope it's fair, not just like cash grabs. Other than that, let's see. So that's it, really. I think I've let this rumble on for too long. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. And the final part of the video is just a message to all of you guys. First of all, thank you very much for being here on the channel and watching the stuff and, sharing your opinions. Like I said many times, I could not do this without, the awesome folks that you guys are watching and interacting with the content that I make. It feels absolutely brilliant to wake up in the morning and realize that, okay, I'm going to be making, content, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with everybody out there here on the channel, and we get to compare notes and just have fun with MMORPGs in general. I think that's a real gift and a blessing, and I appreciate everything, guys. I really do. So for 2019, I'm going to keep trucking away. I'm low-key hustling, trying to grow the channel, trying to make more content that you guys want to watch, or, it's worth watching, really, because if it's just nonsense and garbage and the quality is no longer there, then there's no point in me doing it, because I myself wouldn't watch my own content in that regard. So I wonder if you guys noticed, but over the last quarter, the last 5 months, the amount of videos I put out on a weekly basis has increased a lot, and I've broken them down into different categories. You've got the news, you've got the discussions, you've got the reviews, and more to come, I suppose. But I did that even though I knew there was going to be more work, because that has to be done. I think you guys want to see more, and I'll give you more. So again, thank you very much. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't for you guys, so I appreciate everything. So 2019, everybody have a good year. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your health. You guys with families and school, jobs, just keep hustling away. No pressure. And whenever you got free time, come back and we'll chat some MMOs. So that's it for me, you guys. Thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next video in 2019. Later, all.